Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another very sporadic version of At the Movies. Usually it is with myself, Karl, Mace Smart of the Outerhaven, along with our head of TV and film, Sara. But we also have a third person with us today. We have the big chief himself, Keith, Mr. Frame Rates Matter. Mitchell here with us. And in case you haven't really seen what the whole title card has said, yes, we are talking Avengers Infinity War.
Are we allowed to do that? Because, spoilers and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, as per usual spoiler warnings, we're going to go in depth with everything and anything to do with this. And frankly, if you haven't seen the movie by now, then obviously you didn't contribute to the over $250 million weekend gross that this movie has taken in.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be at 300,000 before Sunday is over.
I would definitely agree with that. Like, I'm just taking a look, trying to get some information at the moment. At this point, no, that can't be right. That'd be right. It's the wrong movie.
Oh no!
I jumped on Box Office Mojo and I'm like, oh yeah, domestic gross, $936,662. Wait, huh? No, that's wrong.
What?
That's the wrong movie.
Right.
That's Star Wars.
Oh yeah, you can't. Well, that's why it's been a week. No, according to Box Office Mojo, it is 250 million, and worldwide it's 630 million. So.
Which is not bad. Like that worldwide, like that foreign is like insane. But it's also, you got to remember that also takes into account probably an extra 24 hours.
Yep.
Because technically here in Australia it came out like 12, 16 hours ahead of America. So
yes.
And then you don't know when it came out in China and all that type of stuff.
Well, just for comparison, Black Panther, the MCU movie that came out before, made in its opening weekend 202 million domestic. So it's on track to do pretty well. And Black Panther, in case anybody is wondering, currently has for total worldwide $1,331,000,000 in box office revenue.
Oh, while we're talking about Black Panther real quick, that also has a release date of May 15th on Blu-ray and DVD. I noticed that Best Buy has this really sexy still case book for it. Yeah, I need that now. Now.
I would never have taken. I would never
shit.
have taken you for one for the whole steelbook.
Oh, I love steelbooks, man. If it's steelbook, like, I gotta have it now.
Wakanda forever, y'all.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Australia, we have to wait till the 30th of the 5th. I don't know why, but they just hate us like that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta sit down and watch it 100 million times until, Avengers comes out on DVD and Blu-ray. Then I'll watch that 100 million times.
Yes.
Yeah, I've sort of... Yeah. Let's not discuss how I still view Black Panther on an almost weekly basis, if I will. Because we don't do things like that. We're good children here.
Alright, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Yeah, 10 years in the making for Avengers Infinity War. Everything going from Iron Man in 2008.
User joined your channel.
Definitely was one of those things where it's like, I don't think any of us really pictured back then that Iron Man was going to be the start of this gigantic series of films leading up to this insane epic where we have Iron Man, Captain America, Bucky, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Falcon, Vision,
everybody.
Just about everybody in the Marvel universe.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
With the exception of Hawkeye and Ant-Man for some reason.
Which they aren't talking about, where they went. I would love to know where these two guys were.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they said in the movie that they made a deal with the government because it was too hard on their families, so they're not in the picture per se, though Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out in July.
And he's on the run.
Again.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see. But the thing was, they did say, or there was word from the production set that Hawkeye had had scenes filmed for Infinity War when this movie was being put together. So I don't know whether he got the cut or whether it was like, or maybe they had him in for some deceptional trailer stuff, which I noticed going on.
Oh yeah, like the how many jewels are on Thanos' hands when he finally meets up with Captain America.
Yeah, and one group shot in Wakanda that clearly has the Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah.
They were deceptive in their trailers for this one. I have to give a bit of a round of applause for how deceptive they were in the trailers, considering the story content.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I just as like an interesting maybe aside. What were you guys doing in 2008?
Oh god,
you expect me to know that now?
Yes, it's only been a decade, Keith.
I have no idea what I was doing in 2008. To be honest with you,
2000.
Are we talking just film wise, or
I'm just talking about your life, Keith. I'm letting the listeners get to know you a little bit.
I was trying not to kill one of my supervisors at my old job, in my department. Raising a daughter, which, yeah, it's raising girls. Yeah.
Special.
Oh, in 2008, my son was also born, so there was that as well.
Nice.
Outside of that, just living day to day.
What about you, Karl?
Man, 2008. That would have been, my little brother was 5 years old, so I would have been looking after him quite a lot. I was, God, back then, I remember that year was I bought my first ever big screen TV.
Ooh.
Basically, and funnily enough, the first thing I watched on that big screen TV was the Blu-ray version of Iron Man.
Very nice.
So it's a nice little tie-in there.
Yep. I was in my junior year of high school.
Yeah, I have a feeling I was somewhere. I know I was unemployed at that time. Oh, actually, that year I actually started my first call center job.
Oof.
Yeah.
Call centers.
So, but I was working for a freight company. It was great. It was actually quite a nice environment.
Very nice.
But yeah, I was just basically looking after my little brother back then quite often, and bought the first big screen TV. I had the PS3 at that time, which was my Blu-ray player. God,
very nice.
God only knows how many games I was playing at that time.
Woo, taking you back.
Yeah. Just try not to go back down that path if we can.
All right. Well, it's 2018 in the here and now, so we should talk story. I'm guessing, right, Karl?
Pretty much. As per usual, once again, this will be going in depth into the story, basically telling you everything what happened. So if you haven't seen it, hit the stop button, come back later after you've seen the film. Basically, we start with Thanos attacking Thor's ship or cruiser or fleet of ships or whatever it was from the end of Thor Ragnarok, as we had the little teaser in Thor Ragnarok of his ship approaching.
I like how that was pretty much instantaneous too. It was like there was no time skips. Like, oh, here we are.
Exactly. It was like end of Thor Ragnarok in the post sequence. Thanos' main ship is like right there, and it's oh, okay. And we open with him beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, basically having murdered just about everyone on board.
Yeah, except unless you actually had an actual name. So, you know, Thor, Loki, Heimdall.
But see,
they get killed later.
Well, see, I don't like the fact they killed Heimdall off. That was kind of odd, but at the same time, it made sense as you watch the film. They're like, oh, he can do this now. So it's like, oh, you're now redundant. We don't need you anymore. Goodbye. But no show from Valkyrie whatsoever.
Yeah, that's actually very strange. She wasn't there at all. And
I know
think we're
she
supposed to
signed on
assume
for more films, so she's
Yeah.
not dead.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I think we need to talk about that once we get to the end about like what the future is going to be. But for sure, they've got to do some tricky plotness to get all these people back for the next movies.
yeah, but we will say one person who at this point in time will not be coming back. All the fans girls. I could hear their collective's hearts breaking in the cinema. Happened.
Yes, because Loki, trickster that he is, doesn't quite make it through his encounter with Thanos alive. It's pretty gruesome how he dies too.
Oh,
They're
he'll be
like,
back. He'll be back.
yeah, I mean, they'll all be back, honestly.
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie. Nobody actually really dies unless
Yeah,
their contracts
it's
run
Marvel.
out.
It's a comic book movie. Anybody really ever die in comic books? Period.
Yes.
Uncle Ben is the only character left.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Remember in Civil War that the fake Thor Ragnarok killed off Goliath?
Oh.
Never brought him back. Rhodey is still dead.
What do you mean Rhodey's still dead? Rhodey's here.
No, in the comics he's dead.
In the comics he's dead. Yes, but
they kill off the black characters. Don't bring them back.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. But
but no, it was just like a part of me, like the really mean part of me was just like, Loki's dead, and I could just hear all the fangirl hearts breaking. It was good. I had a giggle, but I'm a sadist like that.
Oh, I was happy that he died. I was like, oh, good, he's finally gone. I didn't like him anyway. Whoops.
But we also get Hulk getting his ass whooped by Thanos.
So let's talk about that for a second. I know a lot of people in the theater were like, this is not possible. Okay.
Oh, it is.
Guys, Thanos is literally one of the strongest people in the entire Marvel universe.
He is a Titan.
Every time the Hulk and Thanos fought, Thanos kicked the Hulk's ass.
Yeah.
He is that strong. He's not. I mean, and yeah, Hulk could probably fight him if Hulk is mad enough. Maybe World Breaker Hulk, but that wasn't World Breaker Hulk. And we got to remember, the comic universe and the MCU are two complete different entities. They don't mix and match. So yeah, Hulk got his ass kicked, point blank. It was pretty gruesome.
And to be honest, on the scale of powers, you have your basic superheroes like your Captain Americas and all that are, have super strength, whatnot. Then you have your Asgardians, which are basically gods. Then you have Thanos, who's a Titan, who can basically beat the crap out of just about everybody. And then you have the Celestials, which is sort of where the area known as Nowhere was created from the head of a dead Celestial. And Celestials are the top end, you cannot do anything beyond this.
Unless you're Franklin Richards.
Yeah, essentially. Even Watchers, which we saw in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, babysitting Stan Lee. They're only considered maybe Titan level in terms of power, because they do see across realities and have the ability to pull people straight out of a timeline and keep them out. But that's a completely different story involving Nick Fury.
Yeah, I think Watchers are don't really have. We'll go into comics real quick. They don't have any real specification. From last I remember, Watchers can do any and everything whenever they want to do it, however they want to do it.
Essentially.
But the thing with Watchers is this: they don't, except for one guy, they don't interfere ever. You're not allowed. We can't do this. We're not supposed to. We won't do it. Which is ridiculous because they're omnipotent. They can do whatever they want.
They could stop. They could have stopped the whole Ultron thing in one split second.
Yep.
And it's like
they could have stopped this in 1 second too.
Yeah, exactly. They could have been like, oh look, Thanos is trying to destroy reality and everything. Yeah, you're going into a bubble, bitch.
Bubble bitch.
Bubble bitch.
The next Marvel character, Bubble bitch.
We don't want to give them ideas. So after getting his green butt absolutely whooped, Heimdall in his dying moments uses the last of his power with the Bifrost to send Hulk to Earth as like a message ahead of time to
that was weird,
to tell people. Well, they had to find a way to get the Avengers a message that Thanos is coming rather than just a complete surprise attack.
Yeah, but it's like they could have sent him and Thor, right? They just sent Banner.
Well, I mean, Heimdall was dying. He had like literally seconds.
Yeah.
He was just like, this guy is directly in the path of my magic sword thing, so that's who's gonna have to go. Boom.
Well, just send Thanos out of it. Send him somewhere. Call it a day.
I mean,
oh wait, that's
again,
a plot. Never mind.
Then again, remember again the dying thing, kind
Yeah,
of
and also remember that at this point in time, this point in the film, surprisingly enough, Thanos already has 2 of the stones.
Right.
He had he has the Power Stone and the
Space Stone.
Yeah, the Space Stone. So essentially, Heimdall sending him via the Bifrost to anywhere would have been pointless because he could have just used the Space Stone to get back to where he was.
Ah, yes, the Infinity Stones. They used to be gems, but now are stones because anything remotely feminine is a threat to our beautiful masculinity. It is interesting that they never really go into what the powers of each stone is.
I'm sorry, but you want to talk about anything feminine? Please, that Infinity Gauntlet is just fabulous.
It's so fucking fabulous. All right, it's the most fabulous thing.
Bling everywhere.
It's so colorful too. But yeah, they never really like sit you down and explain what the powers. I mean, obviously, like it's supposed to be literal. Like we see the reality gem alter reality. But space could mean anything. Mind we never see used at all, or soul.
Yeah, it's interesting because like they do try to Doctor Strange does try to explain it, but he only says what they are, not what they can do.
Yeah.
So it's
that would have been nice if they gave everybody a quick primer of this is what these gems do, or stones do.
But speaking of Doctor Stephen Strange, Hulk crash lands in all places, the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York.
Well, they had to match that up with the comic because that actually happened in the comic.
Yeah,
but it wasn't him. It was Silver Surfer.
Yeah. So Hulk reverts to Bruce Banner, and basically at this point you can say bye-bye Hulk for the rest of the film.
He has performance issues from here on out.
Essentially, Hulk's ashamed he got his ass whooped by Thanos and doesn't want to come back out to try and take on anyone, and that's basically Bruce Banner's entire arc for this film.
Why not just use Wanda to trick him and make him do it again? Oh wait, it only worked in Age of Ultron. I'm sorry.
Yeah, only the one time special power.
But we then get the reintroduction to Stephen Strange and of course Wong. Strange contacts Tony Stark and gets him to magically appear at the Sanctum, and they have their little back and forth of my science is bigger than your magic. The fact that we got no Sherlock lines in this is an absolute travesty.
I know. I was just like, you had them right in front of each other. Come on.
Yeah. For those who don't know, obviously Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr., who once played Sherlock Holmes in 2 back-to-back movies, and Doctor Strange is Benedict Cumberbatch, who played Sherlock in the UK TV series done by Stephen Moffat. And
that used to be good.
Yeah, and then it's like everybody's going, if there's not a Sherlock joke between these two at some point, like we do have one more film to go with this Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
But we need a Sherlock joke. I'm sorry, we just once.
Just the one. Just give us it.
But yeah, it's just so at this point, Banner tries to go like, call up Steve Rogers and let's reassemble the Avengers. Let's go kick some butt. Come on, let's go. And Tony's like, well, sorry, the events of Captain America: Civil War happened, and now we're not talking to each other, even though I still have Steve Rogers' contact in my phone.
The
flip phone. Because I'm like looking at it going, okay, why does... I wouldn't even imagine Steve Rogers having a phone at all.
He got all the times,
That's why
he's
got
the cell phone.
He's got the Falcon with him and Nats with him, so
yeah,
he's
true.
letting up and up now.
That's
he did his
true.
best.
But obviously Tony doesn't want to reach out to Steve because, hey, pride
Then he
and all
got to
that
admit he
crap.
was wrong.
Yeah, how dare Tony Stark, have a flaw besides, all the ones he actually has.
All the other flaws, every flaw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But we have a couple of people from Thanos's
The Black Order.
the Black Order, or as they
His
call
children.
them, the children of Thanos in the film, but that's the
More
Black Order.
children.
Black Order, for those who are known comic book well. They come to get the Time Stone from Stephen Strange in a goddamn terrible looking donut spaceship.
Yeah.
What the fuck was up with that?
I don't know. They were trying to outdo the Technodrome from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows, I reckon.
That dude's very hard.
Oh yeah, so hard.
Uh,
You know what it was? It was like that ship from Prometheus. It's the one that rolls.
Oh god, I forgot about that film.
Every spaceship they had was like a rolling one. I'm like, somebody really, really wants to make an Alien remake, don't they?
Yeah. But of course, this battle that ensues to try and get the Time Stone is just an excuse to reintroduce Peter Parker, the amazing Spider.
He needs no introduction. He is the Spider-Man.
He is the Spider-Man. And of course,
I liked how Ned got everybody's attention.
Yeah, it's like, hey Ned, can you create an action? It's like he just turned around and goes, "Holy crap! There's a giant spaceship out there." It's like,
we're all gonna die. I was like, "Yes, my man, we all gonna die."
And this, of course, leads us to Stan Lee's cameo of the bus driver.
I was wondering when he would make an appearance.
Yeah,
so early.
Right
They're
at the
just
beginning.
like,
It's like get him out of the way
get him
now.
out. Yeah.
So at this point, everybody once again gets their asses kicked. Spider-Man gets an upgrade from his standard suit that we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming.
But that's not until later, though. That's not until after, because we had another fight before that happens.
No, it was this one.
No, he has the fight, and then when he's like, "I'm going on the spaceship,"
Yeah,
but I'm fainting because there's no oxygen. Then he gets the new suit.
Yeah, that was this fight, because
It was the end of that fight. Yeah.
it's the end of the fight. Yeah. So we get Spider-Man upgraded to what is known in comic book lore as the Iron Spider costume.
and let me say, I was one of the pessimists going into the movie. Like, I don't like this new suit because it doesn't resemble anything like the old one. And then when the thing happened, I was like, "Thank you."
The Weebles.
Say again.
His little arm things, I believe.
His limbs.
Yes,
Yes, I was like, "Thank God they're here," because I was like, "Why did you get rid of that suit?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "They probably didn't do anything." Like,
Surprisingly
nope, he has the limbs.
enough, out of like all the people, like of course, Iron Man has yet another suit change in this. It's now made out of nanotechnology, looking more like Extremis than the actual Extremis did in Iron Man 3. And it was sort of a sleeker design.
It was definitely more
I
smoothed
remember
out.
a suit like that in the comic. I might be off. I don't remember what that one was.
It looks almost like I forget if it's Golden Age or Silver Age one where he looks kind of just like a bullet, like just very smoothed out and round.
Yeah, but I was sort of thinking more what was it called? Superior Iron Man. If anybody, it's like I can hear that.
I was gonna say that was a
Is that
bad...
the Riri Williams one?
No, this is the one before that. You sort of have to do a quick Google search, but he did it more all
No,
silver
they're calling
in
this
the
one.
comics,
They're
but...
saying this one was a bleeding edge, but no. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That was not bleeding edge.
It's hard to keep up with the Iron Man costumes.
It doesn't resemble bleeding edge, but I guess let me see.
It's their version.
Yeah. But I will say that the design for the Iron Spider costume, seeing it actually in motion and everything, that is one sick looking costume.
Yes, it is.
Probably
Mm-hmm.
my favorite upgrade of all out of all these characters, to be honest.
Well, he didn't have much to go. I mean, his original suit wasn't really, all that.
Very true.
So, he had he could have had it at the end of Spider-Man, but he was like, nah, I don't need this. I'm good. Peace out.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he finally got it and he has the limbs. I'm happy.
Now, to keep the story rolling, because it is 2.5 hour film, we don't need a 2.5 hour podcast.
Or do we?
We move quickly on to Scotland, where we get the introduction of Wanda Maximoff and Vision. They get pursued by a couple more people from the Black Order. Q, Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, and the Falcon.
Can I say something real quick about that? So we got two of the most powerful heroes out of all the Avengers, and they're getting their butt kicked. Vision's like, "Oh, I love you," and Wanda's like, "Oh, I love you." Oh, we can't fight all of a sudden, but in Civil War I was kicking everybody's butt, but I can't do that here now.
No, because it'd be too easy.
Well, you got to remember, with Civil War, Wanda was essentially traumatized by what happened in Sokovia. So she's always been reserved since. And that's
I'm telling you, if somebody's trying to kill me, I'm not reserved anymore.
I know, that's you. But when you
not only Sokovia, but
when you have the ability to absolutely destroy reality and probability, just remember what she did with 3 words: no more mutants.
You mean what Marvel did?
Different series. No, but here's the thing also, what happened in, I forget, was it Nigeria? But, when at the beginning of Civil War, where she basically blows up the side of a building because she can't control her powers.
That wasn't her fault, though.
That wasn't Sokovia. That was the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah, I forgot. It was an African country. It was Civil War.
No,
That's what kicked off the Accords.
Yeah, the actual location that it happened in was called Sokovia.
That wasn't her fault. That was all Skull Bones.
Oh, yes. No, for sure.
It was all Crossbones, yes, but...
He's like, I'm going to blow myself up. All right, see you later. Oh, I'm taking you with me. Wait a second, dude.
Hold up. And then he's like, cha-ha-ha. Don't die.
Hold up. Hey.
Sorry.
But yeah, so basically this entire scene where Wanda and Vision were getting their asses kicked was just another excuse to, hey, we're going to reintroduce characters. And then they all get together and they fly off to the new Avengers facility that we saw at the end of Civil War, where James Rhodes is talking to General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, I wish he was, real.
In a good, it was a good cameo. It was a character that we hadn't seen since the Incredible Hulk, essentially. So it's good to see him back in it for even a little bit.
No, he was in Civil War.
He was in Civil War. He's the one who does the Sokovia Accords.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's the guy who was like, "We're going to do this, or we're going to kick your ass." Like, okay.
But
so he was there.
Yeah. So of course, the group of quote-unquote renegades, which is Steve Rogers, Romanoff, Wilson, Maximoff, Vision, all rock up at the Avengers facility. James Rhodes basically goes, "Hey, Ross, go fuck yourself. We're gonna, save the world now." So
really try.
Yeah. And then they discuss the idea behind Thanos, what he can do. Basically, Bruce Banner going, "He's powerful. He kicked my ass." And they play with the idea of destroying the Mind Stone, which is in Vision's forehead, which is essentially part of who he is and how he was created.
Yeah, without it, he's basically dead.
Yeah. Well, not essentially.
Oh god, you know, part of me is like...
considering what happens later in the film.
Right.
But it's like, the whole thing of do we kill one to save millions is basically what's done here. The needs of the many
outweigh the needs of the few.
Yes, to cross over sci-fi. Rogers in the end turned around and goes, well, actually, we might have a way to remove the stone without destroying visions. Let's get into the Quinjet and let's go for a fly off to Wakanda.
Yay!
Of course, then we get those two famous lines, or that one famous line, which is still hysterical. I can't pronounce her name correctly. Oroki?
Who?
The Panther's sister.
Oh
yeah.
No! Wait.
Yeah.
No, you mean the guard.
The guard.
Okoye.
Okoye. I said the last time. When she's like, when I was to open up the borders, is not what I meant. And he was like, what did you mean? Like, well, maybe Olympics or opening up a Starbucks.
Maybe a Starbucks. I was like, Wakandan Starbucks would be like the best Starbucks. It would be
but then
like...
again, back when I was like, maybe we don't want to open up a Starbucks in Wakanda.
Ooh.
Not
Call
right
the
now.
police. Yeah, no. Ooh, actually, yeah. Oh, they couldn't have known, but oh man.
Oh, they know. Well, no, at that part of the film, now they're probably like, damn, we should have put that in there.
It was too late, man. It
Way
was already
late.
going out. It was already edited. It was too late.
Yeah,
it was nice, for them to go to there. Like, oh well, we know somebody who's smarter than all you people, right here. She's gonna take care of Vision.
Oh, yeah,
Shuri is her name.
Yep, Shuri. And she's like, why didn't you guys just do this? And Bruce Banner's like, because
we didn't think about it.
I was like, yes, good. I want Shuri to be the smartest human, because she is the best. I am sad we did not get another "what are those" joke, but it's okay. She can still be the spiciest meme lord.
Well, she'll get another... I believe they're doing a Black Panther 2, so she will get
They are.
You better fucking believe they're making a Black Panther 2. Are you kidding me?
There's probably sequels up to 5 now. Like, 4 and 5.
Oh
and 6,
god,
and
I hope not. Just stop at 2, please. Just stop at 2.
Maybe 3
for
if the
Iron
second
Man.
All right. So,
But to keep rolling on, we switch back into space, and we get some funky music because we all know what time it is.
I loved it. Loved it.
The Guardians of the Galaxy respond to a distress call, which turns out to be the destroyed Asgardian ships, and they're looking around to see if anything is still going on, and Thor thumps into the windscreen, which results in yeah, wipe it.
So funny.
I just love the part where it was Star-Lord and Gamora were both saying at the same time. They weren't looking at each other, but they were saying it. It was like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, that was
foreshadowing.
That was definitely cute. The Drax just being asleep. He was like, he was just knocked out, and Groot in his teenage form. Well, actually, it's son of Groot, actually.
Yeah, son of Groot, yeah.
I was quite sad when I heard that confirmed, because I was like, aww.
Yeah, he's not technically the same Groot.
It's not the same. It's like, it's literally son of Groot, according to the director of the Guardians film.
Oh, man.
So Groot died in the first one, and this is son of Groot. Yeah, sorry to bring the mood down.
It's okay. Oh, the mood's gonna be down much later in this recap.
Oh yeah.
Don't you worry.
Oh, she's back.
So basically, the Guardians rescue Thor, which leads to some absolutely hilarious lines between Thor and everybody else, especially because Thor sort of cracks on to Gamora, which of course gets Star-Lord's hackles up, and he deepens his voice to sound more like Thor.
Yeah, that part was hilarious. I love that part. And Mantis like, he's doing it again! Like, what? Yeah. I need to go see that film again.
Yeah.
I really need to.
And Rocket being referred to as a rabbit.
A rabbit.
Sweet rabbit. I love it. In this Australian accent, I'm just like, sweet rabbit. That's the name of the Thor Rocket Raccoon ship, by the way. It's Sweet Rabbit.
Sweet Rabbit, okay. Fair enough. Of course there's a ship of it, because there's a ship of everything!
There's a ship of everything.
So, of course, Thor sort of extrapolates the idea of, hey, we should go and get the Reality Stone from the Collector, because Thanos has space and power, and he knows that the Mind Stone is on
Earth.
Mind and time are on Earth.
Yep. He's got to go find. He knows Gamora knows where the Soul Stone is.
Yeah.
But we don't know that he knows.
Yeah. So
yet. The
idea is the Groot, Rocket, and Thor will go to
What that place was called.
Okay, I'm gonna try and say it.
Novelia.
No, Navdal. Yeah, I can't say it.
Yeah, Navdalia.
The magical space forge.
Yeah, pretty much. To get a new to get a new hammer, essentially, while the rest of them, collectively known as the morons, will go to nowhere to get the stone off the Collector.
Now, can we talk about something real quick that really bothered me about that whole part? So, we went through Ragnarok, and the whole thing was, oh, you don't need this, this hammer. You're the power. You just need it to channel your power, etc., etc. And then we see that in Ragnarok. And now it's like, oh, I need this hammer all of a sudden. But didn't we just go through the last film that you didn't need that?
He has to fight like 6 Infinity Stones. He needs a hammer.
It's not so much that. He actually explains that the metal, the Uru metal, is the only thing that's able to kill a Titan. He does mention that straight out, is that the weapons forged, such as his hammer, are the only weapons that can kill a Titan.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said that.
He said that straight out.
There's a lot in this movie. It's really hard to keep track of everything.
This whole movie is like you have to go and see it 3 to 4 times. Just
I'm definitely going to see it.
And
get everything. Just to get everything. Like, there's so many little bits and pieces that you miss out on if you're not paying attention.
I mean, they totally should cut off Thor's arm and make it out of the same metal. Oh wait, they do that in the comics. Never mind.
Yeah. Arm. Anyway. So, surprise Peter Dinklage, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that had me in stitches.
He's a
yeah, because it's Peter Dinklage. You're so used to him playing, obviously midget characters, and of course you're thinking, they're going to go and see a dwarf, and when you think of dwarves, you think Lord of the Rings style, the little short, round guys, right?
Yes, stocky but tiny.
Yeah, stocky but tiny. But you don't think these gigantic, these gigantic versions of them. And it was just even funnier that it was Peter Dinklage playing a giant. I'm like, finally, he gets to be a tall person.
Oh, and it was just like surprise. I'm like, I do not remember anybody saying that Peter Dinklage was going to be in this movie.
No, there's a lot of things nobody did. Say.
Nobody.
There's a lot of things they didn't say, so yeah. It was a good surprise.
But the thing is like, I was sitting in the cinema, and when they came on, you could hear the people going, Who's that? And all of a sudden, I've just gone, holy shit, it's Peter Dinklage, and everybody's just gone, laughing out loud, just laughing their ass off. The whole cinema just cracked up laughing with it. I'm like, oh, it's one of those rare moments where you actually get an entire cinema collectively click at once.
Beautiful moment.
Yeah, just for a moment. So while on this Space Forge, they're told about the Stormbreaker, which is the weapon of a king that's able to channel the Great Storm itself and, destroy planets or whatever. But we find out why Peter Dinklage's character, I think it's like Eitri or something, is the only dwarf alive on the Forge, because those dwarves made the Infinity Gauntlet. and then
Thanos
they
killed
were
him.
slaughtered. But
Also, real quick on that one, just throwing some more comic book trivia into there. So the name of the hammer is Stormbreaker,
Yep.
which also is the same hammer used by Thor's other, I would say, counterpart, Beta Ray Bill in the comics, which is also seen in Thor Ragnarok. It's the dude looks like a horse head on the left side of the building. So yeah, that looks like his hammer in the comics.
yeah,
It's
it
the same
does.
name too.
Yes. So, but the other thing was this character had his hands chopped off as well.
Mm-mm.
No,
Not
the
chopped
mouthful
off.
bent in.
Yeah, they were covered in metal.
Ah, okay.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it could really, it kind of looks like they were cut off, and like
But
he made his own arm
basically, he's not supposed to be able to make anything more from now on.
handicapped,
Right.
basically.
Yeah. So no one can make, and of course the forge is heated by the power of a dying star.
Of course, right?
Yeah, of course, because
It'd never be something simple.
No. This leads to we have to start the forge sequence, which they do quite interestingly with Thor basically grabbing what looks like one of those what do they call them, the gravitron rides? You know, where you strap
like
the
the
person
handles.
in and you push them and it's the circles that spin all in every direction.
I've never been in one of those.
Neither
I
have I.
wouldn't recommend it.
I've seen many a drunk person do it and then bath afterwards, but
Yeah, you don't
That's-
have to be drunk to barf on one of those. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
okay. Personal experience?
Someone barfed in my hair.
Oh,
It was gross.
Okay.
yuck. So it's one of those things, and they get the forge started only for a second because the mechanism, having been frozen in space, is brittle and breaks. So Thor's like, I'm going to stand in front of these two levers that are like right in front of the channeling beam for the power of a dying star because, you know, hey,
He's Thor.
I'm Thor, I'm Chris Hemsworth, and look at my
I'm
muscles.
Thor, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so he stands there and he's literally flexing with these handles. I'm like, oh my god, this is just Chris Hemsworth trying to show off. You know, hey, look at my guns.
He got mad that Chris Evans got to do it in Civil War, and so he's like, "You think those guns are big? Look at," and then it gets all crispy fried.
Yep,
Crispy Thor.
crispy fried Thor.
Idiot.
But they make the hammer. Well, they make the parts of the hammer, and it's like, oh, we don't have the handle for it. It's like, quick rabbit, find me the handle. And so Rocket's looking around for this handle, and Groot's like, no, I'm Groot. Here, I'll form a handle.
I am Groot.
I am Groot. Here, I make
Yeah.
handles.
Oh, and Thor can talk to Groot, which is also amazing as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was an elective minor in his
Asgard school.
in Asgard schools.
Like, oh, now we got two people that can talk to him. Awesome.
It's more useful than French, that's for sure.
Yeah, true. So while all that's happening, we have Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, and Mantis go off to nowhere. They hunt down the Collector, who is being threatened by Thanos. You know, where's the stone? Where's the stone? Of course, they have to practically... Mantis knocks out Drax to begin with, because Drax is like, for my family!
You know, because he
I
didn't
want
learn it in the first
revenge!"
Guardians of the Galaxy movie, right?
Yeah, because, you know...
I remember.
He,
Oh,
I
you
remember
got his
y'all
ass
should
kicked.
remember.
He tried to fight Roland, and Roland's like, no.
No.
Gets his ass kicked.
So instead, Gamora's like, no, fuck this. I'm gonna go kill him with the exact same weapon
Oh
he
no,
gave me as a
but
child.
we gotta talk about the important thing. Before they go, she makes Peter promise that if
Yes.
Thanos gets her, that he needs to kill her. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
he tried. He fucking tried. I will at least give him that.
That was one hell of a dramatic scene. Like, Gamora goes to kill Thanos. She ends up, you know, sticking him with a blade and this little two-sided knife pen thing.
The very same
So-
one that he
subs-
gave her.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got a flashback of like how Gamora became the daughter of
Gamora.
Thanos.
Yeah.
So she uses that exact same weapon, stabs Thanos, and he's like, "Yeah, that's not really what's happening." Here, Reality Stone.
Like, I already got it. Thanks, guys. Like, oh shit.
Hey y'all.
It's like every time you think something good's happening, it gets the whole "fuck you" treatment by Thanos, going, "Hey, really, it's a stone that I've possessed now."
You know, and you gotta think if something was up because the collector's like, "Bravo, bravo!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what?
You know what? You know what the biggest clue was?
What?
There was like when you looked around the cages, it was all very generic. There was no Howard the Duck and there was no Cosmo the dog.
Yeah, there's nothing really in those cages.
But they get out. They get out though. Remember?
I mean, yeah,
they're gone.
Yeah, in Guardians 2, Howard the Duck is at the brothel.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're gone.
True, but there's nothing in those cages.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, because one of his
which is
assistants should have
weird.
been in one of the cages still.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And the egg of Adam Warlock is in the possession of the golden people from
The crazy
Guardian.
lady.
The crazy lady.
Crazy lady.
So yeah. So instead of actually killing Thanos, Gamora obviously didn't. It was the Reality Stone playing out a different reality. He grabs Gamora and is like, "You know where the Soul Stone is?" And she's like, "No, I don't. No, I don't." Well, fine. I'm going to take you with me, and we're going to find out later by torture or some stuff. And
Yeah, well,
Quill comes
Nebula.
out. Yeah. Quill.
Wait, we messed up. We went over one thing that was very important.
Oh, I'm trying to get back to it.
Go ahead.
Quill comes out and is like, "Hey Thanos, I'm going to shoot you in the face with my blaster." Gamora's like, "No, don't shoot him, shoot me." And Thanos literally has her by the back of the head, walks her forward into the point of the gun and goes, "Shoot, motherfucker. Come on, do it,
Really
do
bad
it,
dad.
do it." And Quill doesn't, and Thanos sort of like, "I like you. You can live for now."
Yeah, for now. I mean, it doesn't matter, but yeah, we'll get to that.
So, of course, Thanos uses the Space Stone, disappears, and in order to find where the location of the Soul Stone is, we find out that Thanos has been able to capture Nebula, and has been torturing her by pulling her apart piece by.
It's brutal.
And it was brutal. But we also find that Nebula has, of course, a recording feature. And we get to see a conversation between the two sisters about the map of the Soul Stone and how Gamora has actually quote-unquote burnt it, but she memorized it. Of course.
Dang it.
Yeah, so Thanos keeps torturing Nebula, and Gamora's like, no, stop it. Put it back together, I'll take you to where the place is. We go to Vormir, which is where the Soul Stone is.
Yep. And all of those theories that everyone had about where it was. Totally.
Yeah, some of those
100%.
were very out of this world. A lot of them were really weird.
Yeah.
I'm glad they all were proven wrong.
And of course, they actually travel to Vormir, where they are met by the Keeper of the Soul Stone. In one hell of a holy crap cameo of character, not an actor though.
Yeah.
We find out that the Keeper of the Soul Stone is the Red Skull, who we haven't seen since Captain America: The First Avenger. And he basically is there as a punishment. He knows that the Soul Stone is there, he knows how to get it, but he is never going to be able to do so, and it's forever out of his reach. But he cannot leave Vormir at all. So that's what happened to Red Skull. What I mean by in character is because Red Skull is not played by Hugo Weaving like he was in the original film. He was played...
Who did play him?
He's played by Ross Marquand.
Who?
I don't know. Ross McQuarrie.
He's in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Hugo basically didn't want to play Skull again because he didn't want to be. Because when they first did this, when they did Red Skull back then, it was supposed to be a one and done. Red Skull was never coming back, and he didn't want to go. He didn't want to play a character. He felt like it cheapened the reappearance of Red Skull because he's supposed to be gone.
Oh hell no, that didn't cheapen it. That was like a closure for the character because so many people were wondering what happened to Red Skull after he disappeared. Because for those who remember Captain America: The First Avenger, the Red Skull, I believe, actually touched the Space Stone itself and was teleported out of the plane that was crashing that Captain America eventually was frozen in.
Yep.
And we don't know what happened to him. So that was sort of closing that plot point. It's like, okay, this is what happened to Red Skull. The Space Stone displaced him to be the guardian of another area, of another stone, which was even funnier. Now, the only way that people could get the Soul Stone was to sacrifice something that they love.
And this is good because it shows
that they love most.
Yeah, and it's good because it shows that Thanos wasn't this, crazy monarch that everybody thought he was. He actually had principles.
Yeah.
And he cared.
Yeah. Because Gamora's up there with them, and she starts laughing her ass off, haha, you don't love anything, you were incapable of love, you're a monster, blah blah blah. And in probably one of the best cinematic moments is that they turn the camera to Thanos, and you just see one tear start rolling down his face, and it clicks in everybody's head as to what's about to happen. He turns around and he goes, yeah, but I do love something. He grabs Gamora and throws her off the edge of this cliff, which somehow teleports him off the mountain that they were on into the ocean where he now has the Soul Stone.
Yep. It's like this whole big shaboom where the sky opens up, and it's a whole... And you see, like, the blood coming out of her head after she, like, falls on that platform, and you're like, oh, man! Not Gamora!
So, the thought about that is she is now part of the Soul Stone, or she's in Soul World, because the Soul Stone actually has a whole world inside of it. So, she's basically inside of that stone. Which
they probably all are,
back.
Yeah.
So that was pretty brutal. Like,
it was like, this seems to be the... by this point, I equated these, like, killing off Gamora and Loki at this point, plus what's to come. This is going to be a bit of a reference, but anyone who has seen the original 1986 Transformers movie will understand exactly what's going on here. The 1986 Transformers movie basically killed off, I'd say, about 75% of the original cast to have them replaced.
Guys didn't come back though.
Yeah, well, some did. A lot of them didn't, but they were replaced by new characters, which is essentially what we're getting with this film. But we'll sort of explain more of that near the end. Now, while Gamora is getting her, death on, Nebula is able to escape her captivity and requests that the remaining Guardians meet her on Thanos' homeworld of Titan. Okay, fair enough.
Because he's a Titan, so he's from Titan.
Exactly.
Because I guess we couldn't be original about it, but whatever.
Yeah, so we also get a moment where Tony Stark and Peter Parker rescue Doctor Strange on the ship on the way back.
Really cheap and blackballs. He just got sucked out of the ship. Yeah. Like, oh, bye.
Yeah. In a literal reference to Alien that Peter Parker brings up.
This really old movie. Oh god, Peter, why? Peter, stop. But also, I don't know about you guys, but I found that you guys obviously know the person's name. I don't. I was just like, you're super annoying, and I just really hate you. I want you gone. And they're like, I'm like, oh look, my wish came true.
Yeah, no, that was Black Mall. he was kicking everybody's ass on Earth, and now he's like, oh, I got killed by a spaceship. Oh.
Yeah.
Skedios.
But by the way, he's not called Black Maw in this. He's called Ebony Maw.
Is it
Ebony Maw?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, because you can't say black now.
Except for Black Panther.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
only one character is allowed to use the name Black at any one time.
Listen. Black is for the heroes. Everyone else gets Ebony.
Dude, so I wonder what happens if they ever did it in Humans movie. Would it be Ebony Bolt, not Black Bolt?
I have no idea.
If he's a hero, then he's fine.
Let's not talk about the failed Inhumans TV series, shall we?
No.
But they're getting a movie.
No, they're not. That
got
cancelled as soon as the TV series failed.
Thank God.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have a second season of Legion. I have no idea why.
Second season of Legion. I need to watch.
Yeah, good. You go watch that. I'll watch something else.
Okay.
So the ship that Parker, Stark, and Strange are on was going to Titan anyway, and they end up meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they have their little we're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
That fight was so good, and it was so good because it was like, hey, look at this. Everybody's thinking the Guardians of the Galaxy are on par with the Avengers, and they end up kicking their asses. It's like, hey, Star-Lord's got Spider-Man by the neck. Stark is like, what the hell is going on here?
He put a massive hand cannon to the face of Drax, who's like, just do it.
Just do it! Oh,
yeah,
man.
That was a nice little scene right there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Peter Parker and Star-Lord start talking about reference movies, and they get into a little spat because Spider-Man does not agree with Star-Lord. He's like, what?
What was it? Yeah.
Footloose.
Footloose. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it still the greatest movie? No, it never was.
So I looked at him, and the look that Quill gives him is the bitch. I'm gonna kill you if you say that one more time.
Hilarious. I loved it.
So of course, while they're all having their little talks and trying to get a plan together for when Thanos arrives, Doctor Strange is using the Time Stone to view. Oh, what was it? 16.
No, that's one.
14 million.
Was
it?
Yeah,
it was 14 million. I think it was 600,034 possible realities. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. If I actually got that right, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I could actually.
Could look it up, but it's honestly not important.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't. So yeah. And they say that it's like there's only one reality in which Thanos loses out of the 16 million or 14 million or whatever. And then of course Thanos rocks up and proceeds to go like all One Punch Man on everybody and beats the shit out of everybody. But they get their licks in. The idea is to remove the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos' hand, and they almost do it like twice. And
then
it's everybody working together, which was absolutely brilliant.
Which was Star-Lord's plan, by the way. Which he loved to throw in everybody's face. Like, it was my plan.
Definitely. And it's like
fucked up.
I just love it. It's like you've got Doctor Strange doing the portals that he does. And you've got Peter Parker like going portal kick, portal punch, portal throw. That's not gonna work.
Oh, I love it so. Baby.
And Quill comes up. He drops some sort of I think he places a bomb on him.
Some kind of detonation device.
And he's standing there across his Thanos, looks at him and flips him off and goes boom, and then drops into a portal.
Oh man, their physicality on this.
There's a
movies
gif
is
of that
amazing.
already. There's a gif of that moment already.
I would have been surprised if there wasn't a gif of that already.
That was an amazing fight. I love that fight.
The fights in this was so good. And it's like, it comes down to Thanos and Tony. And Tony is using every last bit of nanotech that he has in the Iron Man suit to create weapons to hit Thanos with. To the point where it's like half the suit is only still on his body. And at one point, he got one hit. Like, all this is just ends up with one tiny scratch, probably about not even 2 inches on Thanos' cheek. And even Thanos is like, all that for a tiny scratch? He turns around and he's like, oh, look, a moon. I'm going to bring this moon
I'm a
down.
fucking moon.
Wait, that was after they almost got the glove off.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to go back and mention one part after they had him down. They had him down.
Thanks to Mantis.
And the person that he said he liked screwed it all up.
How do you think I got the Soul Stone? I sacrificed Gamora and Quill cracks it.
Oh my god, he went ballistic.
I mean,
and everybody's
be fair,
like, stand down, dude. He's like, nah, I'm done.
No, to be fair, and I'm going to tackle this from my psychoanalytical angle, because I covered Star-Lord last year. It's because he equates Gamora with, like the positive female figure. Like, he loved his mom died, and he couldn't do anything about it. Same thing happens with Gamora. He loves this woman, and she loves him, and then he's ultimately powerless to stop her death, and he just fucking snaps. Like, his brain can't take it, because Gamora was, like, the one good female figure in his life that he really cared about, and his brain is just like, you fucked up again, Peter. Look at you fuck up. Always doing this. Everyone you love dies, and it's all your fault, and he just can't take it. So it's really very sad, that moment. I mean, it was stupid. He shouldn't have done it, but it's very sad.
Oh, no. You want to talk stupid.
There's so much stupid in it.
Eventually it comes down, like I said before, it comes down to Tony Stark and Thanos one-on-one. Stark gets his ass whooped. Thanos is ready to kill him, and Strange turns around and goes, dude, I will give you the Time Stone if you let Tony Stark go. And everybody's going, no, you're a stupid moron, Strange. And he's like, no, trust me, this is the only way. Obviously, he's alluding to the whole...
way that we win
there's
thing.
this one way deal. So of course that means that Thanos now has a Time Stone, and he's like, screw this, now I'm going to go off to Earth. I'm going to leave you all here to sit and be bored for the rest of the film.
And of course, there's no way for them to get back, because, they're on Titan and the ship got blown up, and yeah, so that was a
mind you, though, shouldn't the Guardians have a ship somewhere?
Yeah,
but it was on that ship, so all gone.
So yeah,
I mean, they have Doctor Strange there.
Yeah, he could have done like portals or something.
Yeah, literally, he could have literally zoomed their asses out of there with a portal.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So to sort of jump back a little bit, like, all this happens, we also have the big Wakandan fight. Which basically involves the Black Order and their little minions of... I have no idea what the fuck they were.
It doesn't matter, they look like demon dogs or some shit.
Well, that's the thing, I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, are they Chitauri? Are they Kleinar? Are they Swarm? There's millions of alien races in the Marvel Universe that they could have been. And there was nothing that I could sort of get a clear look at to identify them.
They were just ugly. They were just very ugly. Leave it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, ugly and sad.
So they're trying to get into Wakanda because, Wakanda has massive shields that nobody can penetrate, supposedly. While Shuri is extracting the Mind Stone from Vision. Eventually, this army gets through the wall. Now we get the big one-on-one fights. Banner, instead of being the Hulk, is in the Hulkbuster armor, which I thought even funnier.
Loved it.
It's great.
They had some really... Again, this was another really good fight, like showing everybody coordinating really well. You of course had the badass women moment as Wanda joined the fight. And now you get the... It was Romanoff, Wanda...
And Okoye.
And Okoye taking on... Was it the...
I forgot.
Don't know their name.
Yeah, it's another named character. Can't remember the name. Dies anyway.
All the girls fighting the girl, which is stupid, but whatever.
Big girl fight that ends with big wheel of death going squish.
What was her name?
Funny.
Now I'm going to be pissed until I remember it.
You had Karl Obsidian. You had Ebony Moore.
Oh, it was
Proxima.
Proxima Midnight. That's what it was.
Wow, that's a unique name.
So, basically, all the remaining Black Order get killed at this point, and the army, runs off.
But Thor lands with Groot and Rocket.
Thor lands with Groot.
Oh, that was the best part,
with the Stormbreaker, and just proceeds to absolutely destroy everything.
Before that, though, Banner was like, "Oh, you guys are all screwed down." As he sees Thor come to the battlefield, it's like, "Oh."
And we should also mention, partway through this movie, Thor gets his other eye back. So
it's a mechanical eye.
Yeah, it was the mechanical eye that Rocket stole off one of the guys in prison, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
Like it was either referenced or it was found.
What?
At some point in one of the previous movies.
What were you referring to? I'm sorry.
The Thor's mechanical eye.
Yeah, it's from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Rocket or the Rabbit's obsession of stealing people's stuff and stole an eye.
Yeah.
Which again goes back to the whole, hey, we did it to Ragnarok and we're undoing it now. Yeah. Good job.
And Rocket even.
For people who didn't see Ragnarok, okay?
What the hell was wrong with you?
Rocket actually references his whole "I want to steal things" because he asks Bucky how much for the gun, and Bucky's like, "It's not for sale." So Rocket goes, "How much for the arm?" It's like, "No, that's also not for sale." And Rocket's like, "I'm so stealing that arm later."
Yep. Bucky. Okay,
I don't think Rabbit, Jesus Christ, Rocket wants to fuck with Bucky. I don't think he wants to mess with Bucky.
No, but Bucky would fuck him up 7 ways from Sunday. So the army is defeated just in time for Thanos to arrive.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. So we get Thanos versus just about everybody yet again, and we get that trailer moment where Thanos is like trying to throw a punch or something, and Steve Rogers intercepts it. It's like, "I'm going to yell at things!" Trailer moment!
I mean, to be fair, he's trying real hard.
And even Thanos is impressed with the strength of Steve Rogers at that point.
Which is kind of weird, because he's like, "Oh, wait a second, he's holding off my right or left arm." But previously, this is the same guy that, beat the hell out of the Hulk. I'm like, he's not that strong, guys.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Look, continuity problems. Anyway.
A wizard did it. So Thanos ends up being gravely wounded by Thor's Stormbreaker axe. But before that actually happens, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, you went a little too far.
Yeah, I jumped one step ahead, unfortunately.
2 steps. Yeah, we missed a couple of big things. That one and another one.
Well, we get Wanda finally, nutting the fuck up and going to Vision, who had to join the fight because of Thanos. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have to kill the man that I love by blowing up the stone on his head.
So there's 2 scenes of that in this movie. We have, Star-Lord and Gamora, and now we have Wanda and Viz.
Yep.
The moral of the story is that everyone you love is going to die.
Pretty much. This is like George R.R. Martin's Avengers.
He just gets like a writing credit for like story inspired by George R.R. Martin.
So Vision goes kaboom because the stone is destroyed. Except we forget.
Oh.
Someone has the time stone.
Hey, wait, we're going to completely forget the part of Banner getting phased to a wall. Technically could kill him, but somehow he doesn't die.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that.
Well,
Like, that made no sense to me.
Yeah, well,
because you know that is being set up for the big Return of Hulk moment.
It's like, hey, dude,
Anyway.
I'm in the mountain, phased in. Help me.
It's like I'm phased in. I'm
to be
phased
fair,
in the
his
mountain.
suit is phased in. His body is protected by the suit.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have Hulk burst out of the suit in this great dramatic moment that's going to be great in the next film.
No, he was out of the rock at the end.
Yeah. It's like, how did you get out of there?
Yeah, at the ending shot when they're all like, okay, look, we'll talk about when we get to that scene in like 2 seconds. So, time stone, go back in time.
Time stone, and Thanos is like, yeah, I'm just going to rewind time. Oh, look, Vision, you're alive again. Pluck. And now I have a completed Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, hi Thor. Why do I have an axe in my check? Why do I have an axe in my chest?
Should have gone from ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's also mention the fact that he fired the Infinity Gauntlet at Thor, and Thor's like, well, I have a hammer, and threw the hammer. And basically the hammer's like,
technically it's an axe,
yeah, I'm overpowering this.
It's an axe, sir, not a hammer.
Gosh.
It's an axe hammer.
It is. One side's a hammer, one side's an axe.
An hammer and an axe, and that's what it's called, axe hammer.
I really wish they would have gave him his actual axe. But,
anyway, I know.
But yeah, so Thanos goes, hey, guess what? You see this big gold thing on my hand? I'm gonna snap my fingers, and there goes half of everything in the universe.
Oh,
and there's when the movie got really crappy.
And I teleport away because hey, villain.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So we get shots across the universe, all different places where people just start disappearing into
the people we care about. We don't see like other planets.
Oh yeah. We see them turn into like brown dust, and
they fade away.
It starts with Bucky.
Also, why does his arm go with him?
I don't know. I asked the same question. Like, his gun doesn't know what his arm does.
Don't question why clothing and artificial limbs and other things don't.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a part of who they are, I guess. So it's erasing them from the universe as a whole rather than just their physical body.
All right.
But it was Bucky. That. Then I think
hold on.
Bucky. Then Wanda went.
Bucky, Wanda. Then we had Drax go. Groot.
Damn, Sam went. I felt bad about that because him and Rose were starting to become buddy, and you can see through the entire film how they were courting all of a sudden. Rose is like, "Hey, where you at? Where you at?" It's like he's right there, dude.
It's like 2 steps in front of you, and it just disappears. And then Drax. Drax is like, "Oh, this isn't good."
And then
Mantis.
Star-Lord
as well.
Doctor Strange.
And
then Peter. And I just say...
Peter was the last one to go, and he really did the David Tennant on this.
Oh my god.
I don't want to go and really push the whole thing off as long as he could.
I need to put a little pin in this. Hold on. Let me have my second. This was the death that really fucking killed me, and I just started crying because like all the Avengers and like everyone else on all the teams, they're adults, right? Like they're presented very adult, and Tom Holland is still pretty young. He's younger than all of us, and I'm the youngest of I'm the youngest of all the editors.
I'm old as that everybody. I need to quit.
He's ancient. But when he's like, you see this kid for all intents and purposes start crying because he realizes that he's dying and he's terrified. And I was just like, that part really killed me. I was just like, no, you can't. Like,
Mr. Stark, sir, I don't want to go.
I don't want to go.
Sir.
And then he says, I'm sorry, and I'm just like, my baby. And I don't know if it's because like recently in the US there was like the school shootings, and it's been really tough because of that, or if it was just Tom Holland is so young. Looking at him, it's like these are like the little brothers and sisters of friends. Yeah. It was a rough moment.
But the thing is, they go from that one to Groot.
Oh, that was even sadder.
And you've got Groot sort of looking at Rocket going, "I am Groot," and Rocket's like, "Groot, no, no." It's
Oh,
like,
and then Rocket ends up all alone again. He is the last of the original Guardians to survive.
Yep, he is.
yeah,
Like, if you count Nebula,
essentially,
there's 2, but
yeah.
I don't count Nebula.
So essentially, the death toll on this, at least at this point in the film, is Bucky, Drax, Groot, Mantis, Wanda, Peter, Quill, Doctor Strange, Black Panther,
Mantis.
and yeah, I already mentioned Mantis,
Sorry.
and Wilson, Falcon.
And of course, out of those, you're like, in the part that really got to me is like, well, half these guys have sequels coming up, so
Yeah.
Oh shit, we didn't talk about T'Challa. T'Challa died.
Well,
because his death was like, but
he
we
was
already know there's a
literally
Black Panther too, come on.
he was literally just standing there talking to Okoye and then just disappears. There was like no real emotion to that, but then again, you know, Wakanda's showing emotion was next to nothing. Had we seen like a communication between T'Challa and Shuri,
Oh, that would have been devastating.
Then there would have been an emotional bit, but it was like,
No, but like the way that like, you know, he's like, come sister, like this, we shouldn't be here. And like, just as he fades away, like the look of horror and like total sadness in her eyes. I was just like, no, my babies! So sad. Look, I got real emotional at this part, guys. Like I knew it was coming and I wasn't prepared.
oh, I wasn't prepared for the death toll on this thing.
Yeah,
we knew it was coming. I was
But-
just like, oh wait,
Especially,
there.
well, it's like, especially because it's like you think some of those characters, you know, you got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, who you know have sequels coming, Guardians having a third film coming, another Black Panther film coming. It's like, okay, 90% of these guys that you've just killed off have movies coming,
Right, which is why
Yeah.
you know they come back, but then you got people that didn't come
But-
off, but you expected.
Yeah.
But the thing is, from what I understand, we only get one movie in the middle, and then we get the next half of this film.
Don't wait,
Yeah.
we get Ant-Man and the Wasp,
We
which
get
is
2.
Oh yes,
yeah, and then Captain Marvel. Yeah.
yeah.
My question is Ant-Man and the Wasp, like obviously Captain Marvel that we know from the end of credits scene, which we'll talk about.
We'll just
It's coming. Wait, but
yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys think that Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to take place before Infinity Wars or after Infinity
It's
Wars?
supposed to be before.
It's supposed to be
Okay.
before, yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's going to be really hard for like an Ant-Man movie to have to like
Well-
parse out.
The only one that I find like outside of movie stuff that could be affected by this is Agents of Shield.
Nope. They killed their continuity completely.
Did they? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They dropped the ball a couple times, and you know, like especially this last arc, it's like Quake destroyed the world, and it's like, but you got the Avengers and you know X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't exist anymore. But before it was like, oh, Captain America and Iron Man. Now it's like,
Okay.
no.
What is this going
Fair
to mean
enough.
though for the MCEU like Netflix shows, like because those have the same continuity? Ooh.
I would honestly, I think Marvel has at that one point was like,
So,
you
like,
know, we want everything to be connected. We want everything to be connected, and that they've been going towards the path of, no, we don't care anymore.
I think it's just the departments haven't been communicating properly.
Mm.
Which is why you get things like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones where they reference like the fight in New York or something like that.
Yeah.
But they were never a part of it. They never explained where they were during that time or anything like that.
I mean, to be
But-
fair, they weren't superheroes at that time. But
So-
I don't know.
so-
I would kind of want to know which of the Defenders like gets blown away. That would be super fucked up, and I want to say it.
But to finish off the film, the people left over, we've got Nebula and Stark on Titan. Then on Earth, like out of the named characters, we've got Banner, M'Baku, who was the ape tribe leader,
The best.
Okoye, we got Rhodey, Rocket, Captain America,
Thor.
and Black
Natasha.
Widow. Which is like,
we don't,
wow,
we don't
that's
know
gonna
if
be a
Suri's
boring
alive
movie.
or not because we didn't see her. So
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, who?
Suri.
Suri
Oh yeah, we don't know if she's alive or
or
not.
or
She
poor
better
Ned is
fucking
alive.
be, is all I can tell you.
Yeah. So we then go to a distant planet that looks like the place out of the end of The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Ew.
Wait, before that, we got
What?
the sequence with Thanos talking to the young
To baby Gamora.
Gamora. We don't know where it's happening. We don't know if it's in his mind or if it's inside the Soul Gem. Because remember, Soul Gem has its own world, and she's asking him, was it worth it? What did you lose? And he's like, I lost everything. Like,
Womp womp. Who cares, Thanos?
Yeah,
Destroyed everything.
And
jackass.
basically he wakes up on a distant planet. He's healed. He steps out, and he does exactly like he said he would. After all this was over, was he would watch the sunrise on a grateful universe with a smile on his face.
Of course, also during that encounter with Thor, the Infinity Gauntlet was pretty smashed up.
Oh yeah, it was just, like almost obliterated. But
the
thing is, he still had it on his hand when he went into the portal to escape. So who knows what's going to happen?
It probably still works.
Yeah, it probably still works. Plus, he's also got the Reality Stone, so he could repair it quite easily, or he can use the Time Stone to repair it. I don't know.
There's lots of ways.
There's lots of ways. The Infinity Gauntlet is like the gigantic Deus Ex Machina of everything.
Yes, it is.
So of course that's where the film ends to much of a disappointed crowd. And
someone screamed in my theater. Someone was real upset.
Which I'll wait a bit. Then you sit through the long ass credit sequence that takes fucking forever.
Yeah. And there's no post immediate credit scene.
No, there's no mid roll credit sequence in this one. I am highly disappointed that there was only 2 listings for the soundtrack.
Yeah, I was surprised. It was the Rubberman Man and then something else.
It was the Avengers theme or something, I think it was.
Yeah,
some shit. And I was just like, what?
Usually they have good soundtracks. Well, the Guardian of the Galaxy have amazing soundtracks.
Yeah.
That's because that's But yes, end of the credits scene.
We get to the end of the credits. Because I don't know why, after 10 years, people still leave as soon as the credits fucking start.
I know, right? People are leaving left and right. It's like, it's a Marvel movie. You need to wait. Nah, we're gonna leave. All right, whatever.
The only way I can understand that is if this is their second or third time seeing it, and they're like, "Listen, man, I've seen this. I'm fine."
I went on opening day on the second. Second showing, and people were still leaving.
That's because they're stupid.
It's like after 10 years, you haven't caught on to this shit by now.
That's because those people are stupid. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
don't worry about them. They're hurting themselves.
So anyway, we go back to Earth, where we see Nick Fury and Maria Hill dealing with pretty much the fallout of what happened on Earth.
Chaos.
They're driving down one of the streets in New York. I'm sure if probably Clinton or Liz were here, they'd probably tell us the exact street by looking at it. But a car comes out of nowhere, slams into them. Maria gets out of the car to go check on the driver. The driver's not even there. And Fury's like, okay, call up HQ. This is a red alert situation. And Maria's like, I can't really do that, sir, as she disintegrates. And Fury's like, crap, gotta do. This isn't good. I've got to do something. Runs to the back of his car, grabs this weird ass looking pager.
Space pager out of his duffel bag, and then he gets to start doing stuff with it, and all of a sudden he starts to disintegrate in the greatest moment. Because just before he disintegrates completely, he goes, "Mother!" And then the pager drops, and it shows sending. And after a couple of lines, it displays the colors and logo for Captain Marvel. And that's where it cuts off.
But didn't they do the symbol for the Nova Corps first, and then they do the Captain Marvel symbol?
No, they're very similar.
They're very similar in design, but
okay,
it's the actual Captain Marvel logo and design.
Cool. I mean, I knew the design was, but I was like, isn't that first logo Nova Corps? Either way.
But
So exciting.
I like the bit. It's like Fury just going motherfucker.
And it's gone. And you're like,
because everybody got a good laugh out of that. Because it's
I
Samuel
wonder why
Jackson.
they're calling her, Captain Marvel instead of Miss Marvel.
Because they transitioned her in the comics.
Because they're actually two different characters.
No. Remember, she was called Miss Marvel before, and then she changed it to Captain.
But then they transitioned her in the comics to be Captain Marvel, and now there's a new Ms. Marvel.
But that was
and I'm hoping
after, but that was the thing.
Okay.
She was okay. So Marvel has this really weird thing with using names, the same name for different characters. There's actually a bunch of Miss Marvels.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's the Carol Danvers
Marvel.
Marvel.
But the thing is, we'll find out exactly why and if she was called Miss Marvel and they got promoted to Captain Marvel the upcoming Captain Marvel movie.
Yay! Hopefully they won't redo the rape story arc, which is really fucking weird. I was like, who thought this was a good idea?
They skipped the whole fucking domestic abuse thing between Wasp and Ant-Man.
Oh well, no, they mentioned that in Ant-Man.
They mentioned Hank Pym. Like they skipped the entire Hank Pym storyline.
Yeah, he's out
well,
there.
I mean, they mentioned it.
There.
No, they mentioned that when Hank has that meeting where they're like, "We want the ant suit," and he's like, "No," and then the guy's like, "What? You gonna beat me like you beat your wife?" And I was like, "Oh, they mentioned it." I mean, look,
that was it.
That's as far as we're gonna get on anything. I mean, they might mention the rape storyline. If they do, I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, buddy."
I doubt they'll mention that.
I doubt it. Yeah, it's just too much. Honestly, though, I would pay the fuck out of to see like a Captain Marvel movie where it's Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. I would pay so much fucking money, guys. You have no. I would literally just be like, what, $200 a ticket? $500?
Well,
I'd pay you.
I believe that the Captain Marvel that we are getting in the movie is
Carol Danvers. Yep.
So
I
wouldn't be surprised if there is a Kamala reference in that somewhere.
I hope so.
Considering the popularity of the character in recent times, I definitely think they wouldn't go without a reference in that.
At least, yeah. True.
So that was basically the story of Avengers Infinity War.
A very, very long story.
A very, very long story, and now we're going for a very, very long podcast. It's weird. We always go the same length as a movie almost. But is there any, like, when it comes to characters, is there anything here that stands out in your minds? Like, we've seen pretty much all of these people before in these roles, with the exception probably of Thanos, played by Josh Brolin.
Which is amazing because he's also in Deadpool.
Yeah, he's Cable.
Yeah.
I'll be every villain ever. That's me.
Yeah, so like he was probably the newest character in this entire thing. I actually loved what they did with Thanos in this.
I did too. Like I said before, I like the fact that he had character development. And they've learned a lot out of a lot of Marvel movies. If you looked at some of the best Marvel villains, it's easily him, Killmonger, and him, because he had personality. He had a reason why he was doing it.
Hold up. Here's where I draw the line. I don't think Thanos... I think Thanos makes for an empathetic villain, a villain that you can understand. But I don't necessarily think he's a good villain. And here's why. Even though I should be afraid of Thanos, like from a narrative perspective, like the shit he can do, I was just like, nope, I'm not... I feel like very little threat. Like, when you watched Killmonger, or when you watch, like, for example, Jessica Jones, I think has the best villain in Killgrave.
Oh, yeah.
I'm scared of those guys. Like, I know that their reach is limited, but they're fucking terrifying. And they have great, Killmonger has, like, basically a lifetime of living in America as a black man, which is like, yeah, I understand. And Killgrave is psychologically absolutely fucked up by being abandoned by his parents and having superpower. But Thanos was just like, oh, your planet died because no one listened to you? Ooh-hoo. I feel so bad for you.
But the thing is, I think the reason why he becomes, like, an empathetic villain is because you can understand his logic.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, he could have been played off as the maniacal, I'm just big and evil and I just want to destroy the universe because I want to destroy the universe.
Or I want to court death or whatever.
Yeah. To turn around and go, I want to rebalance the universe because I realized with my own planet that the universe is not infinite, it is actually finite in like resources and everything, and I'm trying to rebalance the universe so that people can survive.
I mean,
it's like he's not doing it out of a selfish nature. He's doing it out of a realization that he had with his own planet that I need to address essentially what is happening on our own planet now with, you know, overpopulation and, you know, resources being becoming more and more scarce, where we're losing out on like food crops and everything else. It's a great commentary on our own planet and the overconsumption and overpopulation.
Right, but I think what makes a good villain is
I was actually gonna, but what actually like you could follow and understand his logic. But at the same time, the reason why you really became empathetic with him, everything to do with Gamora. Like, you saw a guy who, yes, I'm balancing her planet, but here's this child. How do I explain this to a child?
He doesn't at all.
I can't. But I don't want to kill the child because this is who I'm doing it for. But I know her mother is going to die. What do I do? So he takes her in, and yes, he tortured her and everything else to turn her into this great warrior. But the thing is, he always had that fatherly love for Gamora. Which is why that scene where he kills her to get the Soul Stone was such a heartfelt and strong moment. It's because you could feel it coming across from the character, which is, considering how big, bulky, and sort of evil-looking that he is, to have that touch of emotion and everything in the character, in the expression. And this is where I'll give it to Josh Brolin as an actor. Like, he got that across so well. And I thought that was, like, he's definitely one of the top villains that I've seen done in the movies.
I think the problem for me is not that he's not a bad character. He's a well-written character. He's well-rounded. You get where he's coming from. I'm not saying that he's poorly written or anything. I'm saying that he's a bad villain because I think great villains approach a logical, realistic problem with just enough illogic, like extreme illogic, that makes you afraid of them, right? There's like that touch of madman that you can't control. And with Thanos, it's all very like calculated. It's like, yes, I'm doing this because the universe will benefit from it, and I'm doing this unselfishly. It's important. And I'm just like, well, I'm not afraid of you. Like, I have...
Well, that's the thing. You shouldn't have to be afraid of him. You're meant to be afraid of his ideal and what he stands for. The scariest madman you can ever meet is the one who is the most calm and calculated.
I don't know. It was just like,
not
oh,
everybody
you're big and
has
purple and sad.
Not everybody has to be big and angry to be seen as a villain.
No, of course not.
You know, take a look for, you know, to put an example out there. Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter. How calm, collected, and calculated was he, and how fucking scary was that character back in the day?
Yeah, but again, it's that like approaching a logical problem with just like insanity. It's just like
which is okay. It's like finite resources. I want to rebalance the universe. I'm going to wipe out half the universe. How is that not that little part of insanity?
I mean, because they present it so logically, like, yeah, you know, if there were just half as many people. I'm like, you're technically correct. I cannot fault that logic, besides the fact that it's just basically just kind of evil.
Essentially, it's basically saying, hey, genocide is the answer to our problem. Which is not a good thing when you think about it.
No,
that basically Thanos, to put it another way, his mindset is almost of a space Hitler.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, I'm going to exterminate the Jews because they're not perfect. Instead, it's Thanos going, hey, I'm going to wipe out, you know, trillions upon trillions of people because I want to rebalance the universe.
And maybe it's just that, like, for 10 years they were like, ooh, he's so bad, and Gamora's like, he's the worst, he doesn't love anything, he's terrible, and then you present this empathetic purple sad mush who's just like, I just want to make the world better, and you're like, okay, wait, really?
I actually have a feeling that a lot of what we got out of this Thanos was very inspired by the reaction to Killmonger.
I don't know, because we don't know how much of it was already taken care of before Black Panther.
Yeah, we don't know what got reshot and what didn't.
Not much, but they did a lot of reshoots near the end.
I mean, you gotta look at. You gotta wonder how much it was taken from the actual comics, because Thanos in the comics is also, he's calm, he's collective. He's only went off the handle a couple of times when that's where shit didn't go the way he wanted, or he was chasing after his longtime girlfriend, which I was surprised didn't make an appearance in the movie at all. Maybe in the next part, Death. He has a hard on for Death.
I mean, the problem is if you don't already establish Death as like a manifestable thing in this universe, it just feels like it's gonna come out of nowhere and be a little bit too like, oh,
yeah,
that what this was. I don't know.
I actually like the fact that they didn't do anything about the fact that Thanos likes to courtship Death. I think if they had done that, that would have been going a step too far.
I thought that's what might have happened the second we saw him and younger Gamora. I'm like, oh, it's Death. I was like, oh, it's not Death. Because I was waiting for that to happen. Like, maybe Thor had killed him, maybe he didn't. But, yeah.
I reckon that type of thing would actually fit more with Deadpool than it does in this version of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, they grounded it too much in reality. Like, even the freaking magic is like, oh, but it's actually partially kind of science. And you're like, why are you so afraid of magic, MCU?
Yeah, and I called them out a couple times about that. It's like, we have Doctor Strange. Come on, guys. It's freaking magic. Don't do this.
Science. No, it's not, Marvel. It's magic.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. I was waiting for Doctor Strange to fly in and go, Thanos, I've come to bargain, and then just get a fist to the face.
I would have been on board with that.
So yeah, any last thoughts? Because we've gone pretty long recapping the story and anything. So if there's anything you would like to say about the movie, say it now, or forever hold your peace until next year when we talk about the sequel.
I loved it. I'm going to go see it a couple more times. I'm happy to know that the DVD has been already given a release date, so I've already pre-ordered my copy while we were recording this. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely think this is a really strong movie. There was a lot of hype for it. I was actually really excited to see it, and it lived up to expectations. I don't think Thanos is a particularly strong villain, but I think for this story, he's the villain. It's almost like he's not a great villain, but he's the villain you need to tell the story. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to bring everybody back and resolve the whole thing. And also to see, and honestly, this is going to be even more interesting, how the world of the MCU adapts to the fact that, like, half of the population just fucking disappeared for long they were gone for, and basically, these people face death, and now what does it mean, to be in a world where that's a possibility? So,
oh no, they're going to use time travel. They're going to use time travel. Easy out. Sucks. They're definitely going to do that.
Lasting ramifications. God damn it. Either way, I'm excited to see how it concludes. I'm pissed we have to wait a year. But full of heart and just really well written.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of you here. Like, I'm itching to go back and see it again. This is one of those movies where, like I said before, you're gonna have to see it at least 2 to 3 times just to pick up the references, the subtle nods, the plot points,
just because you want to see it again.
Just because you want to, and that's the other thing. It's not one of these movies that makes you feel like a slog to go back and see it. It's you want to see it because it was such a damn good movie. It was 10 years of build-up, and it actually paid off for the most part. Sure, we as Sarah was saying, Thanos doesn't come off quite as a threatening villain, but still, the build-up to, he can kick anybody's ass and, he's a danger with the stones. That build-up and all that was paid off. Exceptionally well in this film. I can't wait to see the next one. I am annoyed as hell that we got to wait a year for it because I don't want it. I don't want it. You know, it's like once upon a time it was the whole thing of like, oh yeah, we got to wait a year for the Star Wars films. Yeah, well, fuck Star Wars. I got to wait a year for fucking Infinity War to finish. But
not only that,
in the meantime, I definitely want to get the Infinity Saga comic book series and read that and see if there's anything that might be easily adaptable.
There's a lot actually. But also we also got with Avengers 4 it's also Phase 2 kicks in.
You mean Phase 4?
Phase 4. So yeah, so a lot of changes, a lot of people disappearing and new heroes coming in play.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Marvel Phase 4 is I don't think Phase 4 starts until after
Yeah,
Infinity War finishes.
Yeah,
4 is the last film, and everything changes.
Yeah.
But we're going to see people leaving. Like, we know for a fact that Chris Evans is done.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Robert Downey is also done.
According to what little there is out on Wikipedia, this I guess we could call it Phase 3.5 at this stage. We've got Ant-Man and Wasp coming up in July. Then we have Captain Marvel in March next year, followed by Avengers 4, which I hope they just call it Infinity Gauntlet, in 2019 in May. And then we supposedly have a Spider-Man Homecoming sequel in 2019 and Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3 in 2020.
Woo!
So that's all that we know of so far. But,
and a Black Panther 2 somewhere in there, probably.
Yeah, Black Panther 2 in there somewhere as well.
I think they said that was like, what, 2020? Black Panther 2?
Yeah, I pretty much think after 4, we're going to see a bit of a reduction in how quickly these films come out. Like, we might get maybe 1 or 2 a year instead of, like, 10,000.
Unless, and this is speculation, they start trying to get other characters pushed in there. You know, they did recently get a hold of Fox, so we might see some of those guys coming over.
That'd be interesting.
Hit X-Men, get those guys in there. That'd be nice.
Fantastic Four. I mean, at least just take Silver Surfer. We don't need the rest of them.
And you know what really sucked is Silver Surfer would have been fantastic in here because Silver Surfer and Thanos has that history.
Silver Surfer, I just laugh at because all I'd be able to see is Vision.
Yeah,
because it's the same actor. It's like I still look at Captain America and I go, I can't believe you were Johnny Storm.
Right?
Stage.
Poor baby. You moved on to a better place now. Hey, but Killmonger also played Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did too in the Fan Force stick.
Both those movies were terrible. Both the
Fan Force stick
were terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my poor babies. They moved up to a better place. Okay. You're safe now. You're safe in the MCU's hug of love.
Actually, you know what I'd find absolutely funny? Is if they do some sort of short film or something and they show more ramifications of what Thanos destroying half it was and you find out Killmonger's actually gone.
Killmonger died.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's like, I don't want your help.
And then he pulls the blade out and bleeds to death.
Dies.
But at the end of all this, it's like this is just a quick little offside just to finish things up. It is so weird watching these films and then going and watching other films because just before I saw Infinity War, they played A Knight's Tale on TV.
Oh.
The guy who plays Vision,
Paul Bettany.
He was in A Knight's Tale. He was the dude who did the introductions for the main. What's his face? Played Heath Ledger.
Maybe he doesn't.
Go back and watch it.
We can have Jarvis back.
No, we've got Friday now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Friday.
Who was Friday?
The AI.
Friday's the AI that.
Oh my girl Friday. I like her. I like Irish accents though, so you can't really rely on me for impartial judgment.
Yeah. But
he doesn't have that same sarcastic air to her like that Jarvis had. You know, we got so accustomed to Jarvis.
That character, like Jarvis, had a lot more sort of quote unquote screen time as the AI compared to Friday. So they haven't really had a chance to sort of even consider fleshing out that type of character yet.
Even in the comics, when they replaced Jarvis with Friday, I was like,
I like Friday. Okay, I don't know. I ain't gonna apologize for nothing.
Well, Friday in the comic books and Friday in the movies are practically two different things at this point. Because you know we're getting AI takeovers in the next Iron Man. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this journey through our recollections of the Avengers Infinity War. We would like to ask you to go to theouterhaven.net where you can find all your news, notes, reviews, and everything else to do with video games, pop culture, movies, and more. We also have our YouTube channel, which you can find linked through the site as well. Go there, watch some of our other videos. You know, Sarah and I talking Star Wars for 75 hours and having two completely different viewpoints on that. And I'm sure we'll definitely do something else when another big movie comes along. That's why these things are so infrequent, is because we only like to do the big movies.
What is the next big movie?
I have no idea, but we'll find out next time
when we have strong opinions about something.
When we have strong opinions and when we are at the movies.
Welcome